G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Farming Simulator 22, the Start From Scratch series on Haut-Beyleron. As you can see here, got heaps of wool stashed up. We would have sold it in a normal year, but this year I've been storing it because when we have enough money, which we already kind of do, but I'm going to build the spinnery, which instead of selling wool as a raw material, we'll take it to the spinnery and that will turn it into cloth, which is far more valuable. So a couple of nice tractors. This trailer would be good if it was an auto stacking trailer, but I don't really see a need for a curtain sider at this stage. But it is the time of year where we need to harvest the wheat, and we are expecting a little bit of rain at 10 o'clock until 1-ish. So we kind of need to get a wiggle on and get over there and do the harvesting. But I'm sick of this harvester. It is a piece of rubbish. It was all good for the start, but we just need something that's a little bit better and going to get the job done quicker for us. This thing's capacity is nothing, so we'll get down to the store and we'll sell this back to the shop, and then we'll buy ourselves a new harvester. Okay, here we are. So we'll park this in this little square here, and we can sell this for 12,000, or we can repair it first and repaint, and there you go, 20,500. So not too bad. And the header as well, we'll do the same thing. Hopefully that'll increase the value a little bit, which it did. Good job. And that kind of goes straight back in towards the new harvester that we're going to get. It's just one from the base game, and it is the cheapest harvester that we can get, but it is pretty much all that we need at this stage. No number plate, 75 grand, job done, and we'll need to buy a header for it as well. So what can we get? This thing here, 25 grand. Not too bad, much better setup than what we had before, so definitely worth doing. And when we get more fields, we're going to need a better harvester than what we had before anyway, so this is a pretty good upgrade. The other harvester was adequate for what we were doing, but now we just need something that's a bit better, because it was taking far too long for me to do the harvest with that, and the capacity of the harvester was so small. So this thing has got a larger capacity. Let's get on up to the field and let's start chopping down some wheat. Alright, let's turn it on and let's get going. So she's got a little bit of a better working width than the previous harvester, but it just feels so much smoother, nicer to drive, much nicer to look at. And for realism purposes, at least our guy's inside a cab now, he's not getting dust all up in his face. Okay, so the rain's here now, so we're going to have to stop harvesting because that will decrease the amount of wheat that we take off the field. So we'll just tip this stuff into the silo. I've parked up the harvester over there, and we'll carry on harvesting once the weather stops. So we'll have to find something else to do in the meantime. I did bring up the baler already, so we can bale up the straw swaths that have already been dropped, and we'll just leave this tractor and trailer over here ready for when we get going again. And in the meantime we'll get the baling done, and then we will have to bring up the telehandler and the trailer to pick up the straw bales. I think we've got plenty of straw down at the cow shed, so we won't need to keep this. This will just be sold directly, which should just bring in a few $1,000s, but it's better than nothing. Well, that's the majority of the baling done. We'll just go around and pick up these last little scraps that we've missed. Might as well get everything we can. It could be the difference between a bale and just having something left in the baler. We want to try and sell it as it is, so it would be better if we can get the most that we can. So we'll have to just pick this up and then shoot on down to the cow shed, pick up the telehandler, bring that up here, and we'll load up these few bales that we have, and then we'll just leave all of that up here for when we get back into harvesting. So we're going to have pretty much every piece of machinery that we have up here all at once working this field. It's a shame we don't have any. If the weather was better, I would have a worker in the combine and I would be doing the baling and loading the bales myself. We'll just get these two bales that are over here out of the rain. It's from when I made our new cow feed. Just put them inside one of these sheds here. They don't get damaged in game, but you know, we want to make it fairly realistic. If only my driving was as realistic as that, that would be fantastic, but it's not. So we've got plenty of hay in here now. Done a couple of cuts in the field in between episodes, and we've got plenty of straw in there to at least last us until we harvest the wheat field next year, so we don't need to worry about that. Yeah, this should be more than enough to at least get us through a whole year, possibly two, I'm not too sure yet. So we've got some silage over here behind the shed, which we're keeping for the cows, and we've got this trailer load over here, which I think we might as well go and sell while it's raining now. Here we go, 15 bales ready to be sold. So this is going to help us recoup some of that money that we put in on the harvester, because we want to try and purchase the spinnery in today's episode. But we're a little bit short of cash now. I think we need 60,000 to purchase the spinnery, and then we need 100,000 to buy the tailor shop after that, but we'll have to save up again for that, maybe next year. So just while it's still raining, we'll just check on the cows. They're all good for food. Pretty good for food anyway, pretty good for straw. They got heaps of milk, which we'll sell when the time is right, which will bring in another 25,000 roughly. But while we're down here and it's raining, we might as well top them up with a little bit more feed and top up that straw, which will just keep that manure piling up. And then eventually we'll be able to buy a manure spreader, and that'll be used as fertilizer for the fields. If not our own fields, it will be used for contracting as well. It's pretty much free fertilizer, and if we get contracts that are worth 10,000 or so, then that's just easy money. So we'll give them the last of the mix that's in the mixer there. Cows look happy. Some of them are eating grass and some of them are eating feed. But we need to put a couple of bales into this bale shredder, and then we'll get back around here and shred those up and throw them in for the cows to rest on. Well, here we go. Nice healthy cows now, full of food, full of straw, heaps of milk and heaps of slurry. So the slurry will be used after we've harvested the crop in the other field. Once we've cultivated, we'll put a layer of slurry down. We'll get through the manure at some point. Well, the rain's still coming down pretty hard, so we'll get these bales loaded up with the telehandler, throw these on the trailer ready to be sold, and then by the time we've done that, hopefully the rain has passed, which will give us time to finish the harvesting and the baling, and we'll get the rest of these bales all loaded up and sold today as well. Need to try and make as much money as possible, as quickly as possible today. Don't you fall off the trailer. quickly chuck a strap on that before it does roll. Okay, we're just on our way over to our other farm. Got an AI driver going that way. I said I wasn't going to do this in the beginning of the series, but I know that there is a collectible here, and it's going to give us 50,000. I'm not going to run around collecting all of them, because otherwise we might as well just... There we go. So 19 more of those to go, and that gives us 50,000. That's going to be enough for us to purchase the spinnery today. I think it's worth doing. Okay, so we go into construction, productions, factories, spinnery, 60,000. Takes either wool or cotton and gives us cloth. So definitely worth purchasing this. Previous experience with the farm shed, level the land before you decide to build. Definitely worth doing, otherwise you've got lumps and bumps all over the place, and we want a nice flat surface for this. So back into productions. There we go. Spinnery's there. How do we want to place it? Probably not like that. The spawn area is on the back. Spawn area on the front. The input's just there next to our grass. We want it as hard up against our trees as possible, so that we've got room to put another production building down here eventually. So there we go, there's that building. And we'll do a bit of painting here as well. We just don't want dirt where we're storing. We'll put concrete around the edge of the building. And we've still got a little bit of grass left as well, which is cool. So we can still get some grass bales for the sheep out of this field. And if we have to, we can create hay or something. But this field is pretty much just for the sheep. They don't take much anyway, just a couple of bales per year pretty much. So nice bit of concrete all the way around. And we'll probably keep these trees here because it kind of hides the building from the neighbouring farm. And these trees don't give us the most amount of money. Might just take these one or two out on the end here though, just a little bit of an access way from that road. And we've got something like 12 or 13,000 litres of wool, which is going to be going straight into there. And that'll get that production going, and then we'll just save the cloth as well. And hopefully after the December-January sales we'll be able to afford the tailor shop. Alright, the rain's gone, so we're back into the harvest. I probably won't show all of it because you've seen me harvest this field quite a few times already. So if you want to watch that, you can go back through and maybe watch an old video, but it'll just get repetitive if I keep showing it. So we'll just finish up here, we'll get it all baled up and moved, go and sell the straw and put all the wheat into the silo. There we go, we're all harvested up and we've got baling still to do, but I'll get that done off camera I think. Don't want to show too much of that. I'm just going to tip the last of the wheat into the silo. Got heaps of eggs over here which I'm going to need to bring the telehandler over and stack these up a bit nicer because they're starting to pile up now. So there's another amount of money just sitting there waiting to be sold, which is November I believe, for eggs. That's going to be a huge help towards the spinnery and the... Well, we're going to buy the spinnery sooner, but when it comes to buying the clothes, it'll probably be funded from the eggs and the milk and some silage as well. So we shouldn't be too far away from getting the clothing factory made up. So we've got all those bales loaded up already, but we'll jump in here and we'll get this tractor going on the baler very soon. Just want to check to see the value of straw. Got 20,000 litres. It's not really worth a great deal, to be honest, but it's a few $1,000s that we don't have, and it's a few $1,000s that we do need. And we've got heaps of manure, which is also worthless. I mean, 84,000 is only worth 3,000. Well, it's been a busy old day so far on the farm. You don't often get a busy day like this, but it is a busy time. We've got the harvesting to do. We've also got the grass field where the cows are, which needs to be mowed, windrowed, and then baled and collected. So there's another bit of cash sitting there that we need to go and get that job done as well. So how much are we going to get for these straw bales? They're not really worth a great deal. So 3,100 and another 500, so 3.5 grand. I mean, it's not too bad. It's just a byproduct of the wheat field, and we don't need it, and it's just extra cash, so it's definitely worth selling. You don't have to drop a straw swath when you do the baling. You can just leave it as chaff on the field, but you might as well pick it up and get rid of it for the extra $1,000. Okay, the workers finished doing the mowing just about, so I'll come through with the windrower and I'll just do this top run here and the bottom of the field, and then I'll probably let the AI do the rest of the up and down. And while they're doing that, I'll go ahead and get the telehandler over to the new spinnery, and then we can load up all the wool and we'll get that over to the spinnery so we can activate the production. We want it to start making clothes, well, not clothes, but cloth, as soon as possible. So yeah, about the collectible on the map, there is 50 of them. I don't really want to go around and get them. It's kind of cheating, but they are there for the taking as it is, and the series is just not progressing fast enough. It's been about 10 years or something in game, and we haven't really progressed as much as I would like. But having that spinnery, that's gonna, by this time next year and every year from now on, we're going to be making at least $100,000 extra per year, which is almost going to be enough to purchase us a new field or a new production kind of every other year, maybe even every year. We'll just have to see how it goes depending on what productions we do, but clothing is definitely the most profitable. And then we want to get stuff like the dairy as well, because we've got most of the ingredients for dairy products already. Okay, so we've done the spinnery. Now it's time to stock up the spinnery with some product so it can start to create some cloth. Now we've got all these bales of sheep wool here. So we've got about 13,000 and a little bit of wool, so that's going to be a good start for the spinnery to get into, start making up some material for us, and we can just keep bringing the wool over here every time there's a pallet available. The spinnery might overtake the production of wool, as in the sheep won't produce wool quick enough for the spinnery, so eventually maybe we'll get a cotton field, or maybe we'll just get a second pasture of sheep to make sure that we never run out. But we also don't want to create too much, because otherwise the game will just become too easy, because we'll be making so many clothes. I'm gonna jam on the roof. Oh shit. Whoa. Okay. Okay, I'm just keeping an eye out for where the bale went, but this is not good to have my tractor stuck in the air like this. I might have to call a tow truck here, see if we can come and get that moved, or I might have to go and get my other digger, my tractor, sorry. Alright, the tow truck came. I went and got my other tractor and used the front loader to just push the machine off the building there. That was a bit unfortunate. Now where's that other bale? We don't want to lose that because it's 1,000 litres worth of wool. and we're going to need it. So I don't know where it went. It flew off somewhere. Oh, here it is. So it flew from all the way over there to all the way up here. Okay, let's grab this guy again, and we'll go and pick that up, get that on the trailer, and then we'll head over and we'll unload all of this into the spinnery. Right, so here's the input for the wool, and that'll just load in automatically off the trailer as long as it's in the spawn point. These trailers are difficult as to try and reverse because of the dolly at the front, so I think I'll give up on the reversing and I'll just do a straight up U-turn, and we'll drop these last 2 pallets into there, and that's going to give that gives the spinnery a nice head start, and we don't have to worry about it running out too soon. Hopefully it won't run out too quickly. We want to try and at least keep up with it a little bit. So we go into the production screen here. We've got fabric wool, fabric cotton. We're using wool obviously. 13,000 litres, and we can activate that, and that will start to produce fabric for us. So if we just show you here in the price of wool on a good day, 1200-ish, give or take. Fabric 3,800 on a good day, and then clothing 10,000. So definitely the way to go if you want to really progress your farm. Definitely invest in the spinnery and the tailor shop. Okay, so all the windrowing and all that's done. So now we're going to have to bale all this up and get it wrapped, and we'll keep a couple of extra bales for ourselves, and the rest will be sold for profit as usual. So that's going to be another 20-odd thousand coming in soon. Alright, we've got everything put away. I haven't done the baling yet, but we're just going to call it an episode here because it's dragging on a little bit, and I like to try and keep an episode around about half an hour. I've been recording for a while now, doing all the harvesting. It's been a long day. So everything's looking good. Animals are looking healthy, and we've got heaps of milk here. We have a look. We've got 27,000 litres. The best time to sell milk, I think, is closer to the end of the year. Yeah, October. So we'll have even more of that by then. So that's going to bring in a fair bit of cash. And yeah, I'll do the baling pretty soon, maybe in the next day. And I suppose it's a good time to talk about Christmas. What I'm doing for Christmas, I am going overseas, leaving a couple of days just before Christmas, and I won't be back until probably the end of the first week of February. So I'm going on a 6-week holiday, and I'm trying to record a few videos and keep them stocked up so I can still release while I'm away, but I can't make any promises. So I hope you're enjoying the series anyway. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.